An easily forgotten, dusty Unovan town without a single anime appearance or even route connecting it to the rest of Unova right, Lentimas town. Edit that out. Okay, jokes aside. Lentimas town, despite its rather forgetful inclusion in the Generation 5 games, has a rather unique inspiration centered around its architecture. This particular architecture is known as Santa Fe style, or more accurately, Pueblo Revival. The core features of this style are imitation adobe exteriors and the distinctive protruding rafters known as vigas, which are often found in proper adobe houses. The walls of Pueblo Revival are actually made out of stuccato rather than actual earthen bricks, which is why I say imitation adobe. Pueblo Revival isn't exactly captured perfectly in Lentimas town, as it fails to have the parapets surrounding the flat roof, though the main houses do feature more authentic rounded corners. Another missing feature is the enclosed courtyard, which, from the examples I viewed, reminds me of fenced-in yards, except the fence is made of the same imitation adobe. The strange house, located on Reversal Mountain proper, has a small extra aspect of Pueblo Revival style that the regular houses don't present. This is the strange house's arched doorway with a heavy wooden door. The regular houses are actually more closely inspired by the adobe complexes of the Taos Pueblo, which is an example of legitimate adobe structures that Pueblo Revival style draws inspirations from. The Taos Pueblo are only one of 19 distinctive New Mexican Pueblo groups, and their north and south houses are among some of the oldest continuously inhabited structures in the United States, with approximately 150 permanent residents. Speaking of the Pueblo people, they are a diverse culture, even as far back as their Anasazi ancestors, which you may find familiar due to their famous cliff dwellings. The Taos Pueblo mentioned just a moment ago are one of the more eastern-based groups, but the Pueblo themselves are spread out all across the majority of Arizona and New Mexico. In the past, each group governed themselves, but this was disrupted during the Spanish conquest of the Americas, and after an intense struggle, the Pueblo adopted varying aspects of the new burgeoning Latin American culture, but maintained their traditions of kinship and the religion of the Katsina, which has many different variations depending on the Pueblo people. It's another example of Pueblos adopting the culture of Latin America by intermingling their religion with that of Christianity. Moving back to Lentimas town, the map description references pottery and porcelain made from the Reversal Mountains volcanic clay. Well, the Pueblo are known for their highly ornate but simple in design pottery. This pottery isn't exactly made from volcanic clay, but rather just simply clay. Each Pueblo group has its own style, and even within those groups, certain potters are distinctive in their decorations. The process of creating Pueblo pottery is rather interesting, but I have to forego talking about it in depth due to the limited time I have as a result of the upload marathon. Boiled down, it's primarily the role of Pueblo women to create pottery, with grandmothers and mothers passing down the skill. Women also decorate the pottery, though it's not forbidden for men to do so either. Lentimas town, like many other Unovan locations, has a name inspired by clouds in English. Lentimas is a reference to altocumulus standing lenticular clouds, which are surprisingly fascinating. They typically form over mountains that are perpendicular to swiftly flowing air, and this air is forced upwards, causing its unique shape. These clouds may also appear stationary, though this is simply due to the fact that the cloud itself is being refreshed rapidly by the air being pushed upwards. It's rather fitting that Lentimas town is named after clouds that form as the result of mountains, especially because Lentimas town is located on Reversal Mountain. Turbulence is unwelcome but expected and sometimes unexpected depending on if the lenticular clouds manifest visibly. This is due to the upward rushing air. In general, these are referred to as mountain waves, and lenticular clouds can visually show a mountain wave. Interestingly, our initial method of reaching Lentimas town is via aircraft, perhaps a reference to these particularly fascinating clouds. The majority of Lentimas's other names all tend to reference mountains, hills, or mountain paths. It's especially fitting that the Spanish name for Lentimas town is Pueblo Chomata, which both references the Pueblo natives and pottery, as chomate is one of the many possible ingredients in ceramics. Overall, despite being forgetful, Lentimas town has a variety of engaging inspirations stemming from the Puebloians to the Santa Fe style, pottery, and even neat clouds that form over top of mountains. Though I feel it still missed the mark when it comes to Pueblo Revival style. Lentimas town has some of the core aspects down, but leaves out other elements like the parapets and encircled courtyards. So what do you think about Lentimas town now? Perhaps you're interested in pottery a bit more now. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.